So tonight we saw the welcome return of David Raya to Ewood Park as Blackburn Rovers made it 3 wins out of 3 on home turf. We'll talk about the latest result and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another match review, this time picking apart Blackburn Rovers' 1-0 victory up against Brentford at Ewood Park, and we'll get to that in just a second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, world footballing and all here. Ruski, that's right, we are deep in the thick of things. It's near midnight. It's midnight out in the jungle here in Georgia. Caught the game earlier, and what a response from Rovers this past midweek match, going into possibly 3 wins on the spin in all competitions, in all venues, when we take on Stoke this weekend. But anyway, let's talk a bit about the match that just took place. Okay, so 11,401 people were in attendance to watch this game, with Bradley Dack scoring the one and only goal, and what a goal it was on 11th minute. Great team effort. Must have been 8 or 9 touches of the ball, and it ended up in the back of the net. If you haven't catched the highlights, make sure you check that out on the official YouTube for Blackburn Rovers. That should be posted probably before this video comes out online. All in all, though, it was a very, very open game with chances afoot, left, right, and centre. 16 shots for Brentford on the night. It's just 7 for Rovers. They even actually bossed possession at on away turf, with 62.8 possession for Brentford, 37 for Rovers. It was actually sort of like, the game just kind of switched around about 40-minute mark. It just seemed to start slipping through Rovers' fingers, and Brentford started to get more control out of this one. So they actually had better successes with their passes in as well. 85% of all intended passes reached their intended target, 71% for Rovers. As for the aerial duels, once again, Brentford bossed us 10-8, but we were more fruitful on the ground with 15-11 tackles. But ultimately, we came out on top with all 3 points. Let's take a look at the starting 11s now. First and foremost with the mighty Rovers. Walton, obviously, between the sticks. It was Walton versus Raya. That's what his build as. Obviously, Raya coming back to Ewood Park. But unfortunately for him, he was on the losing end. But credit for us. In fact, I thought Raya showed some real quality today with a number of really top saves, stuff that we've been missing since he's left, and I think he's actually matured as a goalkeeper since he's left as well. So, it was a welcome return for him, and I'm glad that we got the 3 points. But Walton between sticks for us: Downing, Lenihan, Adebayo, and Nyambe at the back four. Travis, Evans, Dacarino, Rothwell was absolutely fantastic, Armstrong, and Graham as well. So that was the Rovers lineup. And here are my match ratings. I'm giving Walton a 7, Downing a 7. Lenihan also got a 7, Tossum Adebayo got him a big fat 7 as well, and Ryan Nyambe an 8, who was absolutely prolific down that right hand side. Travis with a 7, Evans was an 8, fantastic in midfield. Dacarino of course got an 8 with the goal, but really realistically it was Joe Rothwell's show, and he could have actually put the game to bed with a second real golden effort, but he put it right in between the palms of Raya. Armstrong with a 7, and DG up top with a 7 as well. As for Brentford, they had Raya obviously between the sticks: Henry, Pinnock, Jansen, and Dalsgaard. In the midfield 3 of Mokito, Norgard, Jensen, Benarama, Watkins, and Zumbioric. Okay, let's take a look at some more stats and figures for you here. The amount of touches, actually Brentford had more touches than we did, 768 to our 511. They also had more passes than us, 592 to our 353. And down the bottom of the graphic there, you can see where all the shots took place. And again, shots on target. Let's take a look. We had 4 apiece. Both Brentford had 4 and Rovers had 4 as well. Brentford actually had 9 off target, and they hit the woodwork as well, just the one time. If you're a heat map man, just like me, you can take a look at where all the play took place. Obviously, looks to be in the Brentford's defensive third the majority of the time. Rothwell was absolutely fantastic running up and down the field this past match. Take a look at what else went on this weekend, or this midweek, should I say. Millwall against Wigan on Tuesday night ended up as a 2-2 draw. Luton picked up a victory against Charlton 2-1. Huddersfield 1, Swansea 1. Fulham 3, Derby 0. Cardiff did take care of business against our next opponent, Stoke. Also yesterday was Reading 0 and Leeds 1. In today's fixtures, Middlesbrough picked up a big fat and most important victory for them, 1-0 win over Barnsley. Sheffield Wednesday and Birmingham Duke to a 1-1 draw. Hull put absolutely smashed Preston on Lancashire Day, 4-0 win for Hull City. QPR also lost at home. They're on a bit of a slippery slope at the moment. 4-0 lost to Nottingham Forest. And West Brom put 4 past Bristol City. They're also on a bit of a hiding to nothing. This is what the table currently looks like, with West Brom sitting top of the pops. Leeds are second. Fulham are third. Forest, Preston and Swansea make up the playoff spots. As for the bottom, it's Barnsley, Stoke and Wigan going down as it stands. Rovers jump up to 13th. And today's opponents, Brentford, They drop down to 8th. I don't know if they've actually dropped. They might actually just remain. Next up for Rovers, or next up for the Championship, it will be Swansea against Fulham on Friday night. And there'll be Charlton, Sheffield Wednesday, early kick-off on Saturday. There'll be Bristol City against Huddersfield, Brentford against Luton, Derby against QPR. Leeds will take on Middlesbrough, Birmingham up against Millwall, Barnsley up against Hull City, Wigan against Reading, Forest against Cardiff. And into Monday's fixture, it'll be Preston up against West Brom. Rovers, though, will be taking on Stoke, which will be the game of the weekend. Everyone's going to be looking forward to that. Okay, right, you heard a little bit what I had to say. What about the gaffer? What did he have to say about the result? Here's Tony Mowbray with his thoughts after that tremendous performance.
I think so. I think I don't think that's much different from every week, I would suggest. I think the performance levels of a lot of the players was right up there tonight. Sometimes you get 5 or 6 playing pretty well and there's a few under par, but tonight just about all of them were right up there in their performance levels, and it needed to be. We played against a really good side. If you look at their last 3 results, we're 3-0 at Wigan, 3-0 at Swansea, 3-1 at QPR. You know, they'll have come with a lot of confidence and belief, and yet we managed to show what a good side we can be on our day. I think first half particularly we were good with the ball. The goal epitomised that. I think a really good goal that cut them open and got in behind them, cut it back, and Dack did what he does. He gets in the 6-yard box, which is a huge strength. He's got 2 in the 6-yard box on Saturday. For a guy who influences the game so much, he's a brilliant player to have that desire to run and get in the box to score goals. Yeah, and yet it was a gamble to play Stewart at left back today. You know, he's 35-year-old, and this is a team with really fast, powerful, direct attacking players that have been ripping this league to bits and over the last 6 weeks. And Stewie down at 35, we just felt we had to have more control of the service from the back. I think Tosson brings control from the back. I think Downing could bring control from the back, and it was a gamble in case he got damaged by a flying right winger, but he didn't get damaged. He competed really well. He served the ball like he does. You know, we all in training every day. I use him as an example. He's been here how long? 6 months. I don't think he's given the ball away in training once yet. He's an unbelievable footballer, and he jumps out like a mile how he played for England and how he played in the Premier League, because he's just, with total respect to all our players, he's just better than everybody else with the ball, doesn't lose it, makes better decisions. And yet sometimes I don't play him because, you know, he's not really a left back, and yet tonight we thought let's go, and if we kept giving the ball back to them, they were going to spend 70-80% in possession, give us problems, and we just made a decision to be better with the ball tonight. And I think particularly first half we were, and even on the transition in second half, they left some spaces. We could have scored another couple of goals, I think. And but we're happy with the 1-0, and let's just move on to the weekend. Let's see if we can try and find some form away from home. Yeah, I was just been saying there. I think I shouldn't really tell you the little trade secrets, should I? But it's I try and annoy Corey by leaving him out the team sometimes, and knowing that when I put him back in the team, he's quite angry and he goes around and does what he did tonight. And he's one of my favourite players for this group, you know. But I don't play him every week because I do feel as if he expends a lot of energy and he finds it difficult in these 3-game weeks to sustain that standard and that tempo. And so I like to utilise him and use him. And I know if he hears or reads these words, he's probably going to be angry with me again. But that's okay, because it might mean he might play on Saturday. Just to win. This team, I've said to you, sometimes managers' words can be a bit hollow. This team are a brilliant set of individuals who really care and really fight for each other and are desperate to do well. And I'm just pleased for them, to be honest. I think we've all took a bit of flack over recent weeks, I think, and yet they deserve better. They deserve to win football matches because of the effort they put in it. And yet football's a cruel game sometimes. Individuals can make mistakes, or great individuals on the other team can bend them in the top corner or do something individual to hurt you. But generally they're a brilliant set of lads, and I'm just pleased for them that they've got a few results over the last week. I think listen, Ryan's still a young boy. If you knew Ryan his personality, he doesn't really know, you know. I think the physio department is telling me it's cramp, so let's hope it's cramp. I'm sure it will be. Ryan's had a tough week. Ryan didn't play in the last game because he had 4 flights coming back from Namibia, you know, and in Central Africa, stopping at unknown places, waiting for hours, getting on another aeroplane, stopping off somewhere else in Africa, and he had a nightmare return from his international games. But it doesn't surprise me because we played him because I think Ben Rama is probably one of the best players in the division, a real special talent, and when you set Nyambi a challenge to stop somebody, he's pretty good at it. So delighted for him tonight, and delighted for the team.
While elsewhere, what's been going on social media? Let's take a little look, shall we? Ian Dickinson said this: great result, Rovers. Credit where credit's due. Not managed to make it tonight, but played very well by all accounts. Jen Bellamy said this: so that's 3 matches. It's been won for and 3 points collected from all 3. Hashtag Rovers. That's her wearing a Gallagher shirt. Meanwhile, James, I can't read this one. I've got to make it big. James Barron says, despite some questionable performance, I think that's 3 wins in 4. Still a long way to go, but hopefully onwards and upwards. Hashtag Rovers. Saturday, 5 p.m. Rovers let me down again when I have some optimism. That's why he's kind of like looking into the future there. Russell Prescott said, Nyambi, best player on the park, has kept quiet. Brentford's best player. That's what happens when you play a neutral or natural fullback in a fullback position. Hashtag Rovers. Lillian Gillar, former Rovers guest of the week, he said, yes, lads, brilliant. Onwards and upwards, Rovers till I die. Meanwhile, Andy Neal said, a really enjoyable 90 minutes from Rovers tonight. Plenty of chances to put the game to bed, but another 3 points on board. Great reception from Raya and the fans and players alike, as it should be. Hashtag Rovers. Chris Martin said, there's another day, another win. Great performance against one of the better sides in the league. Better organisation, better football, better performance, a well-deserved win. What were we all worried about? Never doubted Tony for a second. Me, hashtag Rovers. Matt Stilto said, this, a very entertaining game tonight. Both teams a credit. I'd suggest that's the best I've seen Rovers this campaign. Each player running their socks off and giving their all, as well as showing the quality we have. Overall, tonight, a step in the right direction. Emma Douglas said this, that's more like it. Brilliant tonight. Hashtag Rovers. Tony Mowbrays, Blue and White Army, etc., etc. And Brad said this, what a performance and what a win. Get in there, Rovers. Or words to that effect. More from the fans. They were very vocal today. I said some pretty harsh things about Rothwell on Saturday. Tonight I have to eat my words. He was excellent, as Keith Parkinson. Marcus Rovers till I die. The Swedish Rover. What a difference a couple of days makes. Great win for Rovers. Rothwell was brilliant and the team was great. Bring on Stoke. American Rover said this, been ages since I was this happy with the Rovers' performance. Only negative seeing how good Raya can be. Fantastic. Maybe the best player on the pitch. That being said, Walton did not put a foot wrong. Few days of well-earned Rovers happiness. Let's do it again. Elliot Bennett, obviously the skipper, did not make the actually starting 11. He had a bit of a cameo towards the back end of this. Brilliant team performance tonight. Fully deserved 3 points and great to back up the win on Saturday. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Proud to be part of this team. And Elaine said this. It was certainly a happy Lancashire day at Ewood Park tonight. Well, that, my friends, is going to wrap up this sucker. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that thumbs up. If you do, smash the subscribe. New videos pretty much every single day on the channel. We're going to be now looking forward to Stoke City on Saturday. But for me and the rest of these lovely folks out here in the jungle, in the deep wilderness of Georgia, we're going to be tucking into some turkey. Isn't that right, Luna? We're going to be pegging out on some turkey tomorrow on Thanksgiving. And I'm very thankful for the Rovers' victory. And we're doing it all again on Saturday. There she goes. At the Bet 365. We'll talk about that tomorrow in a little bit more detail. Until then, cut the VT. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.